going live right about now. So let me hit comments. And good morning, everybody. Hello, BB. Hey, Mama. As you all can see, I have the very beautiful, very talented, and very special Jess with us today. Some of you who did not know that we call her Jess know her as Landa Rose, but this is our Jess. And I am fiercely excited about this one. So, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Amber. Before we start our conversation, I want to say to each and every one of you, thank you for being here today. Good morning. Hey, buddy. What you sipping on? What you whipping on? Put all of that in the conversation below. Hey, Darn Aaron. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Amber. Hello, Sharon. I am excited to have you. But this, guys, just did we start talking about this maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Something like that. But this has been something that I wanted to tell you guys about because this lady right here. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Patsy. Hey, Jeremy. I don't want to miss anybody, but I'm sure many of you all have seen her on other channels, either as a moderator or a prolific supporter. This lady right here, I am constantly speaking directly to when I say in my messages, you need to start. You need to hit the button. But before we do all of that, before we get on your case about we need more of your face, let us start with some general questions. Okay. Jess, what started you into crochet? What was the thing that got you excited about wanting to do it? And while you're at that thought, share with us other things that you do besides crochet.
Okay. Honestly, it started because I have diagnosed ADHD and I also have diagnosed generalized anxiety disorder. So I needed something to keep my hands busy instead of being up and down, up and down, up and down, like while watching TV with my husband. Girl, it was just like driving him crazy. And I needed something, a different coping mechanism for my anxiety. So crochet has kind of always been a part of my life. My grandmother crocheted. I mean, girl, she crocheted lace. She could crochet with sewing thread.
Wow.
Yes. My mom tried to teach me, but since I was undiagnosed at the time, ADHD, I just, hopefully no. I'm a very visual person. So I started off actually with Tunisian crochet unknowingly. Making scarves. Yeah. I was just doing simple stitch.
Okay.
And I for some reason I chose the big long thing. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And I just figured I still have it, my 6.5. I started when I was 37 and I'll be 46 in I'll be 46 in February.
Oh goodness.
So I've only been crocheting, I mean, almost 10 years. So and I just picked it up and then I was like, I'm bored because all I was making was scarves. I was donating them. I mean, one year I donated over 200. That's all I was doing.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So I was like, I'm bored. So I went onto YouTube and I started making beanies. And then it just progressed. And the first person I ever subscribed to was TL Yarn Crafts. Love her.
Yes.
Love her. And then it just snowballed from there. But I've always been an artist. I come from a long line of crafters and artists on my mom's side. My mom, she is, I mean, when she was 17, she did a mural at her high school.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. So I've always drawn, painted, sketched. I even make wreaths. I do commission works I draw tattoos for people. I mean, I have, let me see let's see.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's your original work.
Well, let me see. I'm so confused with this. Okay, so
okay. Oh, I
This
see
right
the color.
here.
Look at me dumbly turning my head like that's something I do.
I know I'm not used to this. So let
I
me.
know, but
There we go. That's one of my
oh,
originals. It's all swirls and stuff. I have
gorgeous.
17.
I have zero. I think it's called paint,
It's
paint,
not
paint.
for everybody. That's okay.
It's
Um,
that's my journey, and it's okay for me.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I've done commission works, I've done commission paintings and things like that. But crochet, it just once again snowballed. Now, oh my God, it's my passion. I can't stop. I just
That,
can't.
that sounds so very familiar to me. So
Mhm.
very familiar to me.
Yeah.
So with that being your, I will say current passion, because I think passions change from
Mhm.
season and season to life to whatever.
Mhm.
What would you say your favorite stitch right now or your favorite technique is?
Oh, oh. Let's see. In Tunisian is the honeycomb. I can rock
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Because that's mindless to me. I love anything mindless. As far as crochet, uh, I like doing some of the intricate stuff towards a combo. Like I don't mind doing the puff stitches anymore with the trebles. Um, things like that. I like to challenge myself, you know, and it's crazy because sometimes it's the easy stuff that trips me up, but the
Yeah.
complex is what, you know.
That is very much my story as well. I'm going to take a second before we
Mhm.
go to the question and kind of jump in the chat and see what everybody is saying because yeah, it's been moving
Oh,
up.
yeah, I have it on my
Um,
phone. Yeah.
so does it show? Is it gonna show? There we
Mhm.
go.
Sorry,
And
guys.
it is
Allergies.
good morning, dear Michelle. Hope you're feeling better. I am. Good morning to all in chat. That, of course, was from our Mama Winch. Glad to see her here. And I was surprised to see this young lady because she's supposed to be soaking in all the sun and
I was hoping
all the
she'd be in
coconuts
there.
for me. But I think I have enough coconuts. I'm a little crazy. Anyway, good morning, Kimberly. And ladies and gentlemen, when you feel like you have serious case of imposter syndrome, this is me, and I have imposter syndrome. But Dawn Aaron is here to keep me in check and on
Hello,
task.
my
I hope.
sister.
And then, of course, there is my very beautiful and very sweet Sharon. Thank you, Sharon, for being here this morning.
Hey, girl.
And of course, Dawn Aaron said, "Hey, sweetness, I don't know how sweet I am today. I just yelled at a dog this morning."
Yeah, I just yelled at mine.
What? See, this is what we do. These dogs have it coming. But
No,
we
girl,
just
he was straight looking at me in front of my beauty room, my French doors, and just
let it
told my
happen.
son to take care of it, though.
See, my son just told me he mad at you. I can tell. He barked at me. This is a dog who didn't start barking until we said goodbye to the other dog. Now all of a sudden he thinks his whole conversation is bark. No, sir, be quiet. And then of course Sharon said hello to Dawn Aaron. Jeremy said good morning, my darling Jeremy. Now that is my shawl guy. He
Oh,
can he makes them for everybody.
he needs to
Jeremy
make me one.
list. Why am I not on the list? What
Okay.
I do? What I gotta do? Explain. I will make it happen. And of course, my ride or die Patsy, this lady, whenever I mess up, she doesn't flame me or embarrass me. She absolutely lets me know, hey, Michelle, you might want to correct this. And I
Mhm.
love her for that. And of course, my local Jessica. This is my lady who I need to get in touch with about baking. But of course, I have to be careful because my sweet tooth screams, but my diabetes said, ma'am, hello.
Yeah, we
And of
want to keep
course,
that blood sugar and HbA1c down.
well, the thing is, for me at least, I have the hypoglycemia, so I have to be super cognizant about making sure that when I don't eat something, that I put something in that has a high protein base
Mhm.
balanced with the sugar so that I don't have a crash because I like right now I'm probably in the 80s and I should be at 100.
Yeah,
But
I do honey with peanut butter.
see, I want to do that. But if I start doing that, it's a slippery slope for me. I will want more and more and more. And
Mm.
that's where I will go up the wrong way and then I'll be sleepy. So I can't do that. I have to be careful. Peanut butter is my friend though. I love peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
And Amber says, no sipping, no sip wet yet. It's 6 a.m. You got up for me? Girl, go to bed. I love you. Watch a replay. Have fun. You're on vacation. Do the vacation things. I want to be a tourist today. And and we will move on. Jess, did you see that? Was
Mm-hmm.
Is it a little targeted? Hitting home?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And Vivian is here. Good morning, Vivian. Yes, I'm so glad you were here. My beautiful BB is drinking coffee and having a late breakfast. Please let us know what you're chewing on because I would love to know. I have not had breakfast yet, but I have had protein coffee. So we are doing the right things. And Dora Aaron is saying hello to everyone. And Kimberly is saying hello. And this is so very, very true. This is very true. I'm trying to get further to the bottom of our conversation. So bear with me. Yes, Dawn Aaron, we do love her texts. They are beautiful. But for someone so talented, would you expect any less? Dawn Aaron said, fell asleep getting my back done. Oh,
So did I.
I'm assuming we're talking about massage.
No, tattoos.
Oh, wow.
My whole back is done except for the lower part because no, sorry, no tramp stamp for me.
Yeah, well, tramp stamps eventually become a flat line because the body shrinks
Girl, don't tell me
and
about that because I
skin
know.
compresses. So
It just looks like the heartbeat.
yeah. I'd rather you hear my heartbeat than see it. So
Thank you.
again, I can't. And I missed something. Dawn Aaron said yes, yum to honey and peanut butter. She has it on a tortilla shell. Okay.
It's good. You warm up the tortilla shell and then you put it on there and it melts down a little bit, girl. And you
So
roll it up.
okay, so wait a minute. I have to ask: Manuka honey or just the traditional local harvested honey?
I do local because of my allergies, and also we get ones that are like made from pecan trees. You know the honey.
Okay.
You know they take it from there and all of that. So yeah, but I like to do local.
Ooh. Because there's I have a former neighbor that she has she harvests her honey from her bees, and she's mentioned it before. Good morning, sunshine. She's harvested before and shared some with me, and it was the best honey I'd ever had in my life. Yes. Okay. See, I'm learning from you guys, and I thank you all for it. Jeremy says, I love to do syrup with peanut butter on buttered biscuits.
See, that's just evil.
See, that's some big back energy for me. I can't do that. We're trying to minimize, not maximize.
True, girl. My big back needs to be big. Husband has no qualms with that.
See, I've never had a problem with it. I just health-wise would like to, bring in my carbon footprint.
Yeah, girl, same. Mine is from medication side effects.
Same. Yeah. I have been taking medication for 30 years. No, 20, almost 25 years. And these are medications that cause you to retain weight or increase weight. And none of that's healthy for me.
No, I stopped it. So I'm on the mend and I'm trying a different medication.
One of mine, we'll talk after this part, but yeah, I think we're on the same page with some of it. Yeah. Dawn Aaron said, Michelle, when are we going to get you monetized? We are working on this. This is why I always remind everyone, and let me remind you again, please hit like. If you're here and you haven't already done so, please hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. I don't know where I am numerically because I have not looked at YouTube Studio in a couple of days. Being sick will do that to you.
Mm.
But I do know I'm on the right side of 400, not yet to 500. So the more you guys share me out and the more you guys support me, that pushes me closer to that goal. And I am forever, forever grateful for that. And I
It
say that
pushes
with
her out in the algorithm to where she's more visible and more people will click and watch, and that'll bring her up.
thank you guys. Oh, thank you, Jeremy and BB. These two just shared with me that I am at 424. So thank you guys. I didn't even know that. Yay, yay. And listen to Marty. Please listen to Marty. And if you don't know about Marty, you need to support her too.
Oh, I love me some Marty.
Love me some Marty.
I always have her hungry because my husband will be cooking on the Sundays, and I tell her.
see, you know I'm always in the chat going, okay, girl, I just got in the bed. Why are you doing this to me? Because yeah, well, this is the essence of why I love Jess. Now, back to our questions. What is your favorite yarn to work with? Everybody knows mine. It's the Karen 1 pound because I'm a thick girl that likes a thick thing. That's what's up. But what about you?
I have a few. I do love working with Premier Basics DK because it is so soft and so squish. Yeah. So let's see. As far as bougie, girl, love me some Arcane. Mine just came in yesterday.
I have not tried it. I am so tempted.
Girl.
But of course, I had these little things that keep coming in here called Williams. You guys call them Bills. I call them Williams because we're on a formal first name basis.
I caught it on when he had this 20% off sale.
How much?
20% off, and I got 4 hanks for $80.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good deal because I've seen his colorways and they are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. I'm a repeat customer.
I believe it. He has some beautiful work. This name that's on our screen right below my head right now, she made this really, really gorgeous yarn. And she sold it to Mama Winch. Okay. And I got lucky because Mama Winch needed to make some changes and she was gifting and getting rid of and letting go of. And I was like, is that Dawn Arian yarn? Oh, yes, must have that.
Oh, and I have some Dawn Arian. She gifted me some of her hand-dyed cotton as Happy Mail. Oh my God. I love it. I'm going to use it to make a summer top, like a nice summer mesh top.
I cannot say what I'm going to be making with that yarn, but it is, well, it's for my daughter. And that's why, because I know she doesn't watch me most of the time, but the day I open my mouth and say something will be the day she's watching.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not playing because she's not here.
So yeah.
Good morning, Miss Glow. What's up, Miss Ma'am? And tell your little crazy brother I'm looking for him. I got my shoe. I'm ready. So let's happen. But back to our chat. So Arcane Fibers is your bougie go-to. And your everyday go-to, your big box, if we want to call it that, is definitely Premier.
That DK. And Big Twist.
Oh, yes. Big Twist. Big Twist is money. They steal my money. I swear they do.
Especially when they're doing the $2.99 or $2.49 so much.
You know, I try never to miss these things. I always make sure that when I drop my videos on Fridays, that I showcase anything good going on with Premier. Of course, with that question, what's your Premier your favorite hook size?
I actually like to work with the smaller yarns, so I like to work from a 3.5 to a 4.5. If it's Big Twist, I go to a 5. Yeah.
Cool. And I ask that because I know some people will take, the bigger fibers and use a smaller hook because they want that dense, thick product. Other people will hook up and, shrink down to get that lacy movement and flow.
It depends on what I'm making and what kind of flow I want with it.
See, this is why we love you. This is why we love you. Um, and I want to share this with you because I saw it last night. I'm sure, as you know, our overnight guest every night, pretty much it seems like, is Russ. Russ
Mm-hmm.
is have us up all night giggling and laughing as we drift off to sleep. But
Girl.
what I sold last night was a blanket that I originally saw on Jaxie's channel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was gorgeous. It was a baby blanket, and
Yes.
the moment I saw it, I said, "That looks like something I think Jess made." And
Mm-hmm.
then he shared that it was indeed a blanket you had made. When
Yes.
you made that blanket, what was your inspiration for it? Was it your original pattern or was it another pattern?
No, it wasn't mine. It was from the crochet crowd. But what
Okay.
drew me to it was I love antique Victorian style looking blankets.
Yes.
Um, and I at first made that blanket into an adult blanket. Girl, it's huge. But I
Oh,
love it.
really?
Yes. It was one of those where you into it, you good. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I need to make it a baby blanket. One of my favorite color ways or color combos is lavender and peach with cream. So that's
Yes.
why I went with that. And it just, and then my daughter, actually, I didn't know what kind of border to do. And she actually listens to me, which surprises me as far as like when I tell her about the different stitches and borders. And she was like, Mom, do a shell stitch. I was like, ooh, with a picot, but I'll go ahead and change the color on the picot. Oh, okay, okay. And that's what I did. And I sent it to Jaxie saying, hey, I want to donate, because I love me some Lexi Lou. I love Lexi. And she's like, oh my God, yes. So I donated. It's actually one of my all-time favorite blankets I've ever made.
Well, it is absolutely stunning and breathtaking. I think one of the things that we as creators will mistakenly do is we follow a pattern so much so that it
Mhm.
becomes cookie cutter. The slightest twist or change, even sometimes reversing the way the pattern says,
Mhm.
do the shell stitch, then this stitch. If you just kind of mix those things up and let them play differently, you get a whole different view of it.
Oh yeah. I
And
I
I
love
love those
switching it up.
stories.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. My very the television over here is chatting and nobody asked it anything. Good
Well, I'm
morning.
secluded. I'm in my beauty room.
I'm in my cave and technically no one is here, but apparently Amazon decided to bring one of my 999 packages. So
Mhm.
Roku said, "Hey, somebody's on your porch." I already knew.
Okay.
Anyway, in talking about that blanket, one of the things you brought up was color. Are there some colors that you absolutely say yes to, and are there some colors you absolutely say no to? Because I know with Dawn Aaron, she cannot say the color that means everything to.
Oh, she already said she's burning looking at my top.
She gonna be all right. We love her for it.
I know.
She
Well, this is one
she
that
must
Tati
have
got
trouble
for
with
me.
me because of what's behind me. And I
Well,
love
Tati
that
got
color.
this for me a couple of years ago for Christmas. It's one of my favorites. Oversized. Girl, it's so comfortable.
You
So,
need to give
but
us a full view of that. We love that. It looks good on you. Well, I'm only asking. It's not a requirement.
you know,
Don't hit me.
you from here up,
But
we're good. It's like when you're in a Zoom meeting and then from there, no.
see, I'm good all the way down to almost my ankles.
Girl, I
My
got my
feet have
sweatpants
to
on.
check. I have my slippers on because I'm in my room and I can't show you the space behind all of this because, oh no, at that point you guys are calling people on me.
Yeah, from here up, the room looks great. From here down, Amazon boxes, it's disheveled. So,
See my little mini bookcase over here and
mhm.
yeah, the reason that that stays up there is because I'm hiding crazy behind me, I promise. And I'm putting crazy in front of you. So there you go. You get a double of it.
Well, back to your
Um,
question, I love so many different colorways. I do gravitate towards cool tones, but there are some verging on warm, but I'm not really into reds or
okay.
oranges unless it suits what it is I'm trying to do. I
Okay.
don't use a lot of browns. I do like to use brown with pink. nice
Yes.
contrast.
Yes.
you know. I love grays. I love army green. I'm a military brat, emphasis on the brat, and a military wife of
See,
25 years.
thank
Mhm.
him for his service, and thank you for your support of his
Oh,
service, because a lot of times one of the things I've seen for families that have a military component is it can be divisive at certain
mhm.
times in the journey of that person's career.
It's not
And
made for everybody, but
has,
my mama raised us to be part of this life. And so I knew what to expect. She raised us on how to fix things when the man is deployed. She taught us how to use power tools, how to change the tire, how to change the oil. I mean, because I'm the oldest of four girls. And she was like, you were nothing
woo,
to no man.
okay.
Hmm.
And see, I'm stubborn and independent. I wasn't raised in a military household. I went to a military high school, and it was always understood that I was probably going to go in the military, except there was this one hitch. I came from a toxic household environment. So, that being the case, the last thing I wanted to do was intentionally inflict the stress that comes with being
Oh,
in the
I
military.
got it. I
And
almost went in.
I was in my rebellion era, so there's
Yeah.
that.
I was actually on delayed entry. I almost
Oh,
legit
really?
went in. But then I was like, no. I knew I was on a different path.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Dawn Aaron said it perfectly. It's hard to be a military wife, but I tell you, I was raised like Jess. Worked hard on course. See, I was that girl that was always watching and learning. I
Hmm.
remember my mom was a driver, my dad never drove. So, of course, the first cars that she got were, as we in our community called it, hoopties.
Oh, girl.
So, you had to be able to fix everything. I remember being, 14, 15 years old, learning how to change tires
Hmm.
and loosen lug nuts. So when this one guy wouldn't stop harassing me and he didn't understand that I was not that girl and I was not that person,
Oh,
yeah, I loosened all the lug nuts on 3 of his tires. He got
that
the
part.
message. He got the
Be
message. And
like,
I can
look,
say,
you got to head to the hospital if you don't quit.
okay, head to the hospital, or, I have friends at this funeral home and that funeral home.
Hmm.
I'll get your family a discount, but you will be erased and I will be innocent. Nobody told you to drive that car.
Girl, me and
So,
you are two peas in a pod from back in the 90s, let me tell you.
and see, I'm 80s. I was class of 88. So, yeah, but Gen X life here, it's real.
Yeah.
So, okay, again, back to that blanket because it stole my heart in case you didn't notice.
Um,
But with it and with other projects that you do, because I've seen a lot of your work, this is why I love you. Are you one of the people who loves to block, or are you team no, I'm not blocking, you get what you get and be glad you got it?
it depends on what it is. If it's not laying the way I want to, I'll block it.
Okay, okay. And is there a particular technique of blocking that you use, or do you block based
Mm,
on the fiber that you're working with?
Based on fiber.
Okay,
If it's acrylic, I have a handheld steamer. I'll lightly steam. If it's wool, or natural fibers, I actually use a very gentle lavender wool wash.
okay,
Hmm.
very nice. Ooh. And please share the information on that wool wash because I'd love to know about it. I, however, am allergic to wool, but the idea of a lavender wash when I'm working with things
Hmm.
that I'm going to be gifting, especially things for babies,
Yeah.
something like that would be sweet. Um, what is your are you like our favorite one who's like, listen, you're gonna get these ends, it's just that it is what it is? Or are you, I sew them in as I go, or I stitch over? What is your
I do
technique?
both. I stitch in as I go, and I also do over. But the trick I learned, and I learned it from from Tony's mom, is the flexible little fabric glue. When you sew
Yes,
over, just put a little bit of dab, let it dry, and you good.
I love Gwen. I love Gwen. She is everybody's mama, and we all love us some Gwen.
Hmm.
um Inspiration wise, where would you say you find you get most of your inspiration from?
Um, the yarn and the colors. It will
So
just speak to me like, okay, this is what I need to be, and this is what you are gonna do. You
have
know,
you ever run into, oh, you get it and you're like, okay, I bought this yarn and I want it for X, and then the moment that you pick it up, it's like, this is never going to be X, or you're halfway through a project and all of a sudden you realize you've gone down the completely wrong road.
girl, that's why I'm destashing so much of my yarn right now. I have 3 large totes, and I'm still not done of things I'm gonna be donating when if it's, like, brand new, because sometimes it comes in, it doesn't even look like the color it was on, you know? So,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so if it's still in a plastic, I'm gonna plan on selling those discount Facebook Market, whatever. But
Well,
if
before
it's
you get rid of everything, can I get a peek?
I will look through and see what I got, and I got you.
Okay, let's
But
look
what I
at
will
it.
not get rid of is my Goucher.
Well, you know what? I've never tried Goucher, but I've heard great things about. Yeah.
My girl Melissa, me and her become friends, the owner, and
Okay.
I know it's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
my daughter's like, Mom, how do you make friends everywhere? This is weird. I'm like, I don't
No, it's
know. I made a
you.
lifelong friend in the women's bathroom at work.
Well, speaking of our friends, good morning, sir. I still have my shoe for you. Don't play with me. Now, let me get back to my professional behavior. Anyway, yes, we do tend to make friends in strange places. I went to the doctor a few months ago, and as I was coming downstairs headed to my car, this lady had this very beautiful purse, and it
Mm,
was obviously crochet. So I asked her, "Hey, do you mind if I take a picture of your purse?" And she was like, "Sure." Kind of off, I know I'm weird. You just bypass that. And as
mhm,
I'm taking the picture of it, I'm noticing the handle that she has attached, and I was kind of taking a snap of that. And I said, "Ma'am, I mean you no harm. I
mhm.
crochet." She goes, "Oh, I could tell that immediately. I'm looking at your sweater." And I
Oh,
said, "Okay." I said, "Do you crochet?" She said, "No, my daughter does. She made this for me." So we got to talking about it from there. And as I'm getting ready to go, she says, "Before you go, can I get your number? I would love to connect you with my daughter." And I said, "Sure." Of course, my phone rang and I got a little distracted. So I told her I don't have a moment to share that information because this is a sensitive conversation. But here's my YouTube channel. And I was able to get that information. The girl inboxed me. We've been friends ever since.
oh.
It's been a really fun
I know,
relationship.
isn't it crazy? Like even with Jaxie and Mishi, I mean, and now like they're some of my closest friends. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how did this happen?
This lady right here is a prime example of that. I happen to be trying to block out the crying of two emerging 1-year olds, and I as I do, I open my phone and hit open to YouTube, and I saw Miss Glow, and I was like, okay, I've seen her name a few times. Let me give her a watch. I almost had an asthma attack laughing at her and laughing
It's the
at
best kind though.
she will get your morning started. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not already following her, please give her a like, a follow, and all of those things. Hit her buttons, make her giggle because you will not regret it.
Yeah.
Trust and believe.
Oh, and I
And
also forgot to
and this is
mention
the
Don
nemesis.
Anderson.
Wait a minute, I've been just observing and listening. Well, thank you, Wilbur. Thank you. I appreciate you. But I'm still gonna get you because sending WWE people to my house is only gonna get them fed, happy, and on my side. Just so you know.
Mm.
So, but that's a whole nother conversation. If you guys don't know what that's about, you need to be watching Miss Glow.
Well, I did forget to mention Dawn Aaron. Me and her become very good friends, very close. Like that
Dawn,
girl crazy, and I love her.
I love her crazy and her recipe. But I especially love that because she can't say this color that is right below us looking so good. She sends me the pink, and I'm a beneficiary, and I love it.
There you go.
She sent me a package, and I'm gonna brag on her for a moment because she doesn't like pink. She sent me a whole lot of pink yarn that I have turned into items that I've been able to donate to a charity. So that really She has no idea the blessing that she is, even when she's, she's like, I just don't like this. This is not my thing. It's not my wheelhouse. So
But she
it's kind
still
of like,
does it.
but she still does it. She still gives and she still shares and she is still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why Tammy and I get along so well
I love
because,
me some Tammy.
okay, that's my girl. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I
Mm-hmm.
have some of the best friends because I have the best audience. So, this is a great question. And as I shared with you before we started, some of these questions I knew, some of these questions I didn't know, but
Mm-hmm.
these were great questions nonetheless. And one of them is, have you ever had the opportunity to mentor someone in crochet? So have you ever inspired someone to start, or you should?
No, I've tried. I tried to get Tati, my daughter, but she's like, Mom, I'm sorry, but no. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But she'll sit there and listen to me. She's even watched some of the YouTube, that I watch. So she knows what's up. She helps me out with colorways when I'm like, oh, child, I don't know what to do. Like, I want these colors. I don't know how to place them. I'm just at a block. She's like, give me that paper. Because she's an artist. She studied colorways, color theory. She was in AP art, digital arts, AP history, arts, all of that.
Wow,
Um, her digital art,
that's a blessing.
yeah.
That is such a blessing. I don't have that. I am finally, I would say in the last 2 years, I'm finally at the point where my children don't like when they see me leave the house go, okay, so how much space do I have to give up because you just came home with 62 pounds of yarn? And I promise you, I've never come home with 62, 61 possibly, but never 62.
Yeah. Well, no, Tati will get on me. Sometimes she's like, Mom. I'm like, but I bought it with intention. She's like, for how long?
Oh, she does not call you out.
Oh, with the quickness. With the quickness. She's just like her mama. She got my mouth. She got
It's
everything.
funny how we got what we are. Yeah, that definitely is my story. My daughter will be the first. I think I was on live last week. I believe it was last week, or
Mhm,
maybe it was earlier. I don't remember when. I wasn't feeling my best,
mhm,
and because this particular day I was having some struggles with my glucose, my daughter had come in and said, "Okay, Mom, you're not looking like yourself. Let's get a glucose number." And it was not a good number for me. So she was like, okay, because I said I was going to order dinner. So I ordered my dinner and she was like, make sure you order a Coke. I'm
mhm.
not, I will drink them. I love them. They don't love me, but they're very, very good for moving my glucose up in support of things with protein. So putting those two things together works for me. I
At
wasn't really
the
drinking
store
it.
and the pharmacy, they have glucogen. It's
I can't, it doesn't support, it doesn't stay. It
mm,
moves me up, but then within 15 to 20 minutes, I drop down lower than where I started. So
yeah.
glucogen is not a good source for me. I,
Okay.
and I guess my biggest challenge is that because I get that immediate up, I don't remember. Okay, dum dum, you need to support this with protein, so it stays up.
Mhm.
So, or it'll go up way too high too fast.
Right.
So I have to kind of temper it and balance it. So a Coke, because I'm gonna slow sip it, is the perfect answer for me. And that
Yeah.
works. So because it does, I do. But I always tell people, know you. Don't do what I do because what I do may not be best for you.
Right.
So that's just me. However, you shared with us that you have some really cool people that you get to call your personal friends. I
Mhm.
love the fact that I get to call Jess one of my personal friends too. Cause yeah, if ever I were going to wear makeup again, which I'm not, don't ask, it's not happening. Deal with it. This is the face you get. All the wrinkles, all the space, it is what it is. Deal with it. Anyway, are there certain people that you've watched on YouTube or
Mhm.
people that you've seen create things that you would love to know or meet or talk to that you haven't had the chance yet? Who's on your bucket list?
Well, When I first started out, because makeup is also an art form. I also do it on the side.
Yes, it absolutely is. I'm just not that
Um,
artistic.
yeah, so I really got into makeup back in like 2015. I was watching Laura Lee, Manny MUA, um, who else? Oh, Tati Westbrook. I still watch her. I love her. Um,
Yes.
mhm.
It's
She's quirky, and so is Laura Lee. Well, even
now see, I'm not familiar with Laura Lee, but I absolutely know about Toddy.
oh, she from Alabama, living in LA. She still got that. She still says oil for
Ooh,
oil.
ooh.
Um, so yeah, that's how I learned. I learned how to do the whole skincare. I'm very big into skincare. Um, how to assess what kind of skin you have, which dictates what kind of makeup you buy. You know, how to blend, I mean, all of that stuff. And like I said, it's artistic. Just like when you paint, you got to learn how to apply what kind of primer. Because, girl, we got to smooth some of this up. Um, I'm just saying.
If
Um,
it's for,
right.
listen,
And I have
I do the simple
hyperpigmentation.
stuff. Like we have our Nivea right here because
Mhm.
I have eczema. So this
Oh,
is
I
what
do too, but on my hands.
I have
So,
it in my face and in my head, in my scalp. So
okay. Oh, that's so uncomfortable.
it's not fun. It's not fun. The beauty of it, if ever there is ever something to be said about beauty of it, the fabric of my hair requires moisture
Mm-hmm.
and it requires oil because otherwise I will literally look like, Jackson 5's 1969. So I am a more conservative person in my presentation
Mm-hmm.
and therefore I add oils to my hair and it benefits the skin on my scalp to have that oil coating the skin, especially as my eczema is flaring. You'll
Right.
notice that as my stress levels get higher, the pink impressions in my face are more
Well, that's when
prominent.
mine flares. That's why I'm not working currently. Well, I am, but part-time just because the whole health issue. So, because it was no bueno.
Yeah, I do. I do. And of course, that's why I think I check on you a little bit more now because I know and I understand.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
this weather is flaring me. I'm not gonna lie. Your girl's in pain, but I took my medicine.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I fully expected this morning if you were not feeling well that you would be honest with me and say, "Hey, this is not a good day for me." And your girl's always going to be there for you
I'm
for
a
that.
woman of my word, and I love you.
See? Don't make me cry.
Mm,
Okay, next question. Are there certain trends that you're seeing in the crochet community that you like? And are there some things that you see that are just like, it's a no for me? And while I'm asking that question, I have to follow that up with, are there things that you are like, I will never crochet X?
Yes. I'm loving seeing the trend of the younger crowd coming in. They are so expressive and creative, and I love because they're going to keep it going. Um,
Yes.
I love that. I do. I follow some of them because I'm like, I get inspiration. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think about putting that and that together. Oh, okay. And some of them are hilarious. Like Elise Rose,
Yes.
I love her. She's just, I can't help it. I can't.
Every Saturday, her and TL Yarn Crafts or and Little Johnny's yarns. Those
Oh,
three
yeah.
are my Saturday. I gotta, kind of scoop them in my time. I Of course
Mhm.
I try to get to every live I can, but those are my three. Whenever they're my commercial breaks. I
Yeah.
like to call them commercial breaks.
Hmm.
So
But as far as ones that I will not do, they're pretty, but I'm too old for them, and my body. We don't need to see this. Those butterfly halter tops
yeah,
look
yeah,
gorgeous. If
they
girl, if
are
I was like a
lovely.
teenager, or not even teenager, my mama would kill me. 20s, no kids, had the body.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't have no. I had no. It was a never. It was a no. It was a
no.
no. Never.
Well,
But they
I've
are
always been
beautiful.
thick. I've always had the, now I'm just curvy.
I'm
Just
not
a
even
little too much
curvy.
for my liking.
I am Jabba the Hutt. I just look good from the chest up.
Girl,
The
shut
rest of
up.
it, listen.
Mm-mm.
I used to be the letter P and the letter B simultaneously. Now I'm the
Uh-huh.
O. Like, oh, really?
Mm. I don't mind the back. It's
But
the
here's the
front.
thing.
I'm like,
I love me. No matter whatever way you face me, I'm still gonna be me. And that may be cautionary or it may be celebratory, but it's still me.
both. And I love that.
So what things are on your bucket list as we are finishing the year and moving into 2025? What's on your bucket list for next year? Because I know there are things I want to see, but what about you?
I really want to learn how to mosaic crochet.
Okay. Okay.
That really intrigues me because, first of all, it's a challenge, but then again, I hear it's not. But I love how it changes because with my ADHD, girl, I get bored. I mean, that's why I have so many whips. Juan confirmed it. I have more whips than him.
Whoa.
He has 47. I have 52. ADHD.
Yeah. I'm scared to find out how many I honestly have. I really am afraid to admit that to myself and to know it, because to know it is to say that I have to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to
Mhm.
finish them? Am I going to give them in progress to somebody who wants them? You know, those are things I've thought about.
Yeah.
But now, of course, I know I stay in your face and on your back about when can we expect that channel. So I'm just going to ask you.
Mm, well, I already have a
I'll
channel
put
name, but
you
I'm
on
not
the
going to say
spot
it.
in front of the stage, but I got to ask. Because I'm
I
not the
know.
only one questioning this.
Oh, I
I'm seeing it.
know. And the person who started it all was Jaxie. Ugh, that woman, I swear. Um, and then Michi got on board, and then Juan, and then I mean, it's just I'm like,
It's a snowball effect. That's
"Mm,
because
I
those
know,
of us that know, we know.
yeah,
And it seems that it's not just people with channels that are asking that question.
yeah, I know, I know." I'm building up to it. I have some of the equipment, like I have the ring. I know how to set it all up. I am doing research because I do not like to start anything without research, set myself up. That's just my personality. Um, I'm also, I want to get the insight, from those that have done it for a while. What programs do you use? What do you use? I know Jaxie uses CapCut, but I'm going to need like her assistance with, okay, how do I work this? Um, and then also like the content, Juan, Jaxie, and Mishi, we were in a talk one day and they're like, don't just pigeonhole yourself into crochet. Because you do so many other things. I'm like, okay, but I also don't want it to be scattered. I need to have some kind of focus. So I'm thinking, okay, I can do these other things because I mean, I make dream catchers. I mean, I made that up the
I
other day.
noticed the one behind you, and I was going to wait till we were off camera to ask you more about that,
Yeah,
because
I made
it's
that.
it's screaming at me. It's
I learned
beautiful.
that from my great aunt because I am part registered Choctaw Native American.
Okay, okay.
So it's a bit of my lineage. But it would still be a little crochet heavy because that really is my passion. Basically kind of like a journey with me because we're all learning. We're all gonna
Yeah.
mess up and I'm gonna show you. Mishi actually came up with the name for the channel. I'm not gonna say it. I want it to be a surprise when I do come up, but I love it. I love it. It's also building up because I'm not gonna lie, I have hesitation because like I told you before we got on here, I have had front seat backstage witness to the drama, and I'm like, and then my daughter, she's very worried about that because as far as mental health, because yeah, I do suffer from mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and then all the other associated diagnoses that go in with that, whether it be my chronic pain illness. it's a lot, and then I don't like saying learning disability. I'm neurodivergent and I think differently and learn differently. I like to
Yeah,
say we're a little evolved because we see things other people don't. Um, so it's just, trying to navigate and try to get that focus. Because if I do it, if and when, I want to be able to be consistent and also be consistent with my content and what I give you. I don't want to just give you something just to give you something, and
there.
it's not going to be boring or anything. I mean, you're going to get what you're going to get.
I will say this as someone who is very, very much like you in multiple of those statements. That I've been lucky so far.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I've only been here for 4 months, as you know. But in that 4 months time, my mental health, in the beginning, it took a hit because the anxiety is real. And as I said before we started, the biggest anxiety inducing thing that I do is the live,
Really?
because
I think I would flourish on the lives. I like the interaction.
I love the interaction and engagement. I struggle with the fact that I know what's happening inside my head, and I know that what's happening in my head shows on my face. I have zero poker
Oh, your
face.
face betrays you, just like me.
Yes. Yes. So if you say something that irks me, you gonna catch those
Girl,
looks and
even when we had to wear masks, I was in a meeting one time. I had to head up an ICT meeting at work.
mhm.
And one of my friends in there, she's like, "Girl, I could tell." I'm like, "I'm wearing a mask." She's like, "Your eyes." I'm like, "Oh, crap."
The eyes of the to the soul, and they will tell. If
Because I'm
I'm
like,
reading the comment of someone who I, may say that I, legitimately am kind to, and it has not happened. I'm fortunate. It has not happened in my own, environment, but I've been, sitting here watching YouTube on my television,
mm-hmm,
and somebody's comment that I know has been ugly to others, and
mm-hmm.
they'll come and my daughter will be like, "Mama, please don't do that face. It's gonna get stuck, and you're gonna go outside, and you're gonna scare 30 people." So,
Oh my
so,
god.
and another thing, and a friend of mine that I know outside of YouTube, who has known me since the age of 7, said, if they heard the voice that I have always known, and not the voice that's always saying I love you and I support you and encouraging, but the tone of the voice,
Mm-hmm,
the sound of your voice is very different on the
mm-hmm,
internet than the Michelle that I call.
mm-hmm.
You have a completely different cadence, you have a completely different
Yes.
sound, and she says it's not inauthentic, it's just a different capacity and persona
Mm-hmm.
than the person I know. She says, I love that I get to know both.
Right.
So
It's
I will
almost like a customer service voice to a point, but not fake.
exactly. And that for me was, I had to kind of check myself and say, am I being inauthentic? Because she goes, no, what you're being is you're giving them a level of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not down here with the girl who cries when certain commercials come on.
Mm-hmm.
They're up here with the girl who absolutely can understand different realms and aspects of life,
Yes.
and is showing an aspect of you, but you're not giving the world all of you. You
A
can't.
different facet of you. You are multiple facets. You are not just one linear person. First of all, we're women. We think like we have a million computer tabs open. We cannot figure out where the music is coming from. 3 days installed. It's exhausting.
Yes, this
Real.
is why we always need a nap.
You-
But Jess, can you believe that it is 10:53?
What?
We have to really think that exactly.
Okay.
This is why I wanted to do this, because folks, this is our Jess. This is the lady that I've been getting visual snippets of and audio snippets of in the different rooms that she may not always know I'm in, when I hear her and when I see her. And I'm not going to cry,
Oh, mama.
But when I tell you guys how important you all are to me and how special you really are to me, I see you and I hear you and I know you and I love you. And Jess was one of the first people, because it took me a couple of weeks to realize that Landa Rose was Jess, because Jess was this one person.
Mm-hmm.
And then Landa Rose was another name I kept saying, but I was like, maybe they're sisters. No, they're the same dang person. And she's beautiful.
Mm.
And she's giving and she's kind. And I'm really trying hard to hold my emotions together because Jess, you said something in March. And this was before the big craziness that happened in the spring. And I'm not going to talk about that. That's not my story. It's not my journey.
Yeah.
But you you said something so simple about one of the content creators we were watching was struggling with the project they were working on. And you were like, if it don't work, just frog it. I know that seems simple to you. But what it said to me was, if it's not working, nobody cares if you pull back and course correct.
Right.
And it's okay if you make a mistake, even if you make a mistake on a big stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You show others that mistakes are going to happen. You have no control about that. Mm-hmm. What it does is it gives us all permission to make a change. And it reminded me of something someone told me decades ago. And that is that you can make a mistake. The bigger mistake isn't continuing with the mistake. It is continuing to invest in something that you know is going to have a bad outcome.
Mm-hmm. And what do you choose to do with that mistake? Are you going to learn from it, or are you going to dwell in it?
That part. Mm-hmm. You can sit in sugar honey iced tea, or you can get up, take a shower, and clean yourself off. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you still have you to deal with. Mm-hmm. There are times when you guys see me crocheting overhead, I will see a mistake. And in that very second, you see me stop. It's very clear. I stop, my hands stop moving. And I'm asking myself, do I frog back and let them see me frog? Mm-hmm. Or do I stop and re-record this whole thing all over again? Mm-hmm. Most of the times you see me bloop, 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 and go on and go forward. I know I've heard you say it. I've heard Jaxie say it. I've heard Juan say it. I've heard some of the greatest people say that you can move forward or you can stop and step back. You can pull down something. You can pull a video down. You can take back something. But if you invest yourself into everything you do, the best product is you. Mm-hmm. So with that said, we have 3 minutes. And I am going to kind of, hi Zoila.
Oh, Zoila. Hey, mama. Hola, mi amor.
I know what I want to do and I can't figure out how to do it. So,
I know what you want to do.
Huh?
I know what you want to do.
How do I do that?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm telling you. I need to get like tutorials on how to do this. I was thinking about doing that. What is it called? Share Space, because they have classes on that.
Okay. See, I'm thinking about that as well. But I need to make that happen because that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Her not having on a blue dress in here, it makes no sense to me. Mm-mm. And I am actually running.
It's almost blasphemous.
It is. It's disrespectful. It's like, is that really her? Or is it a faction? I am running to my laptop and bear with me, folks, because I'm Michelle and Michelle makes mistakes. And you get to see them. Isn't that fun? It's fun for me.
Hey,
but
everybody learns from everybody as long as they're open their eyes to it.
Of course, my laptop, who is 8 years old, decided right now I am going to update and you can't do anything. So there's that. Zoila, the next time I see you, talk me through how to make you a moderator on my channel, because I've done it before. I just don't remember how to do it right now because yeah, the brain is engaged, but the coffee cup is empty, and so is my head. Listen, before I let everybody go, please allow me to say I love you. I'm so glad you spent time with us. Um, this is Jess. How can you not love her? How can you not be excited? And I hope that what we've shared with you guys today was informative, entertaining, and forgive me for not paying attention to the chat, but I'm so glad you were here to share it with us. I will be going back and reading all of this, but for now, have some fun today. Run over to Miss Glow and join her because that's where we're headed next. And until then, you guys take care. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody. Mwah. Besos.
Besos.